Hey everybody, welcome back to another movie review. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. We've just been pumping out these reviews and just all these videos. And now we're here with another one. It is the Banshees of Inisherin. And before you ask, yes, I literally looked up the pronunciation of the film before I recorded, even though I heard the name of the island many, many times. It just saying it to myself, like actually having to say it out loud, I don't know why, but it's hard to pronunciate. But the Banshees of Inisherin is written and directed by Martin McDowell. Stars Colin Farrell, Brendan Gleeson, um, and it tells the story of a friendship that has just broken off, and mostly focusing on Colin Farrell's his journey to figuring out what happened to that friendship, and ultimately um, figuring out some kind of conclusion for his own well-being, even though his friend has made it very clear to him throughout the course of the film that it's nothing. It has everything to do with his own personality, that he doesn't really find him all that interesting, and he wishes to really savor his own time. And that's the key thing about the film that I was hearing quite a bit throughout the movie. You know, this idea of time and the importance of one's time, and that's really at the core of what the film is about. The importance of one's time, and they portray it through very different perspectives. You see it through, of course, through Brendan's, who is a much older figure and has been through life, and is now kind of in an acceptance of his own fate, or accepting that he will eventually pass on, and he wants to live a more meaningful and have a more meaningful end, and do more things that really matter to him, and surround himself with people that he might fancy, um, and while simultaneously we see through Colin Farrell's character seeing one's insecurities, and how they're not able to find that kind of peace for themselves, or they do, but they have to go through it in a very destructive manner, and a much more unhealthy manner, and makes them a shell of what they once were. Whereas with Brendan, he's still very much content with who he is and how he feels about his own self, and sticks to his own beliefs. He never really has to change, and I loved that contrast between the two characters throughout the entire film. Portraying one's insecurities while showing a very confident, very secure person, and it's not without lunacy, obviously, and the exaggerated language that is presented is meant to amplify these messages of one's insecurities and one's hold to their own beliefs, and as is with Martin's work, I'm not personally familiar with Martin's work. Obviously, I know like his most famous works, like on Bruges and Three Billboards, but I've not seen that work. But I've heard that he's had a level of humor implemented into his films, and it shows in this. Absolutely, there are many scenes that are very humorous, and there are many scenes that are weightful as well. Mostly due to Colin Farrell's character, which it doesn't just boil down to insecurities. There's also this heavy idea of loneliness, and the what happens when you strip away the one thing that keeps that person in control, and seeing that spiral that they go through. While you see where Brendan's character, he's dealing with things that really matter. Like, it's funny how Colin Farrell's character, I think it was Colin Farrell's character, I think that he talks about Brendan's character in the vein of like a 12-year-old boy, talking about that sort of thing. And yet Colin is as what he describes. He is acting like a little boy, and he is acting very childish. um, um, it's like the writing for the film, I believe, is really what is the highlight of it all. I think that it's exquisite. I think that it's remarkable. I think that it really dives into these characters in very meaningful and very, very captivating ways. It's not just artificial, or just this simple. It's very layered in terms of what these characters are going through. Like Colin's character is like it is about insecurities and loneliness, but um, you see, the extents that he goes to trying to get that friend back, or trying to, hold on to what makes him feel comfortable. And then you see, um, through his sister, how she's fed up with all this, and she wants to, um, you know, to really do her own thing, and kind of understanding a lot where Brendan's coming from in that respect, where Brendan, while being stubborn, he's not being um, irrational. He's being very, very upfront and brutally honest, um, and I think that just the way that the writing plays of all these ideas and how it just moves, or how it represents all these characters, I feel it's very, 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 very excellent. And I feel that it really is what keeps the film intact, as well as the performances. I think the performances are also very fun. Um, what holds it back for me is that it does feel at points a bit stagey in terms of its setup, and I don't know if that's Martin's style or not, but it feels at times a little bit stagey. I mean, the production itself looks great. Like the visuals of it, the landscapes are really, really beautiful to look at. Um, but when it comes to these characters interacting with one another, and just kind of just in some respects visually, just how the characters are positioned, um, like it reminded me a lot of a stage play. And I just felt it just kind of removed some of the emotional involvement for me. I wish there was a little bit more, um, like, I wish there was a little bit more, I wouldn't say realism, but because, I mean, like I said, there's very exaggerated elements in this, but um, from a camera work, I wish that there was a little bit less staginess and more theatrical sensibilities taken. Um, but it's a fairly good piece of work, and I think that the writing is what really kept me interested, because of how it represents one, like this really interesting idea of one's time and that value, valuing your own time, and you know uh, taking more time for what matters to you, and removing all that which bores you. It's a very honest film, and I think that that's what I really appreciate about it. Albeit, like I said, I wish that from a visual point of view, I wish that wasn't as stagey as it felt, because I felt that it kind of removed some of the emotional involvement. Um, but from performances, which I think all across the board are really solid, and I think again from a screenplay, I think is just excellent. I think that it puts together a very solid and very brutally honest film, um, that examines ideas that in a very humorous and a very upfront fashion, um, and it's also very entertaining. There's, like, again, those exaggerated elements that represented or I talked about. Um, they're they're very fun to watch. Um, so it's a solid piece. I can't say it's particularly great, but I love the ideas, and I like the honesty of it, and just an overall nature and aura, and just the purpose of it. I just felt was very tasteful, and I was very on board in that kind of front. I just wish that it was more in the sense of realism from a technical perspective, but it's mostly kept intact from the strengths of its screenplay and from the strengths of its performances to a certain degree. So that's my thoughts on the Banshees of Inisherin. I think I got it. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And do you guys think I should watch Three Billboards? Because I was always curious to watch that film. And On Bruges, I believe that's the name of the film. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And that is it for this review. You guys let me know your thoughts on the film as well. And I will be seeing another film tomorrow, so check out another review when it comes out. And that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. And just hope you guys had a great Halloween, and just get your jackets and everything, because it's getting cold out here. It's like 50, 60 out here, so yeah, just get ready for the winter season. get ready for the holiday seasons, Thanksgiving and Christmas. Can't wait. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.